Hypocrisy on the left knows no bounds, man. Just take it back. We're gonna watch this video with Greg Gutfeld on Fox News exposing Obama and his and not even just him, just all the politicians, and just showing that they don't really care about you or care about getting things done. They all care about spouting out talking points that work for them in the time in which they say them. And that is absolutely all that they care about. Before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to RTM News because it ensures YouTube that you're enjoying these videos, and in turn, they will continually show up your feed and they'll push it out to more people. I'm Titus. Let's get into this video.
5 more words.
Fact. Obama's now a Republican.
Everyone knows that getting rid of the deficit will require some tough decisions. And that includes cutting back on billions of dollars in programs that a lot of people care about. But what should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody. Waste we should be getting rid of even if we didn't have a deficit. Apparently the government used to overnight containers filled with nothing. Don't ask why that is. Sure, some of these cuts aren't that big.
Actually, I do want to know what that is, bro. I think we have a right to know where our money's going, but it's just me, maybe.
But no amount of waste is acceptable. Not when it's your money. You know the federal government pays.
Oh, you now acknowledge that it's our money. Cool, continue.
For a website devoted to a folk music ensemble made up of forest rangers. They're called the Fiddlin' Foresters. I'll put their music on my iPod, but I'm not paying for their website.
You know, Kennedy, just watching that now, so that was 2011. Him and Trump are saying exactly the same thing, but he's not saying it as well. It's like he wasn't having fun with it.
No, but it's like even the name of it, he was like, and we're going to call it the cost-cutting commission because Joe Biden is going to be in charge, and everyone knows you don't mess with Joe.
Right.
Biden was put in charge of it.
Yeah. He was.
Putting the fox in charge of the hen house.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just came up with that.
That was good. Yeah, very, very good.
I don't know where this stuff comes from, but
Well, we know it ain't research.
Obama doubled our debt. He doubled our national debt. He spent so much money and laid out this blueprint, and that was his legacy. And that is what Joe Biden was supposed to keep intact.
Don't mess with Joe.
Yeah,
don't mess.
Everybody knows, Michelle. Let me be clear. Don't mess with Joe.
Joey, it is kind of funny that they used to hate waste, but because they hate Trump more, they now love waste.
Yeah. I'm thinking the Fiddlin' Foresters I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, compared to now.
I mean, over trans mice.
That's like wonderful. Now we have like trans porpoises in Uganda.
The only problem is under Trump, it's the Fiddlin' Forester. Because they fired all the others.
Yeah.
There's only one left. It's like, it's a forest. It's been there forever. Why do you need somebody to take care of it?
Yeah, now it's Smokey the Master.
Yeah.
Oh!
No, we would sponsor that. Like, a study commissioned on the onanism of outdoor sexuality.
Right. I mean, some of the studies are insane. But I will remind you, this was the same man who looked every American in the eye and said, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your insurance, you can keep your insurance. It was a complete and utter lie. So
Nobody wants to talk about that. Not even just Obama, just politicians in general. Don't promise something you can't deliver on. Unless there are literally people that are in place that actively, visibly opposing you. So that they're not letting you be able to do what you're trying to do. Like, that's the only way that there's an excuse for you not delivering on something that you promised. And Obamacare, that was all him. So I think they were all for it. I don't know how bipartisan it was, but yeah, you didn't keep that promise. You lied.
So I don't necessarily trust that he really wanted to enact the things that he said he wanted to enact. And as Kennedy pointed out, all the spending went up and through the roof. But this is exactly right. It's always about the messenger, not the message with politics. It's like suddenly now we're finding all these little dumb programs and some really huge wasteful and maybe even some fraudulent criminal programs. But by gosh, don't you dare. Because everything's perfect just the way it is, even though we have a $36 trillion deficit or debt. It's insane. And I don't know that Obama really ever backed up those words.
He was,
that's frustrating too, man. like, it's all noise, man. What can I say to you to appease you, to make you feel good, to make you feel like we're making a difference, like we're doing something right? But you didn't actually do anything when it came to reducing the debt that we have as Americans while utilizing our money and sending it. And that's the thing. I think that's why people are frustrated about us sending money to all these foreign countries and feeding into their wars, when in reality, like, we're just making things harder for ourselves, and we don't have a choice in the matter, because we didn't say we wanted that, but like, we elected these people to do things on our behalf, but they're not doing it on our behalf. They're doing it on behalf of themselves and how to funnel their own pockets and do whatever they want to do. That's why, man, politicians and politics is just so, like, corrupt, man. It's so corrupt.
Probably was getting bad advice, but I have this theory, Tyrus, that do you think Obama and Trump actually get along? Well, I always think that, like, when I saw them speaking at the funeral, Obama was like, I think Obama appreciates Trump for saying what he wished he could say.
Well, not just that, and they also were both like, hey, we both won twice. So that was, the previous segment, we talked about when his publisher told him to speak and when he got to talk for himself. This is another example of a brother having to talk about something that they told him to say. Yeah. Because the website, I think, was $29 a month for the fiddling crew. I don't think the American people are glad to see that one go. But when Kennedy acknowledged earlier that Joe was going to be taking this over. So they put the two most easiest things to cut off. There was no victory. And I think he understood that, because let's remember, when he got out, when his term was up, he did not endorse Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was crooked and was fleecing the country then on his name. And because he was the first black president, you get that, oh, I can't have any problems. And Joe was like, don't worry, I'll get all the problems for you, all the smoke. So when he was doing that, you can tell it's disingenuous, because he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, instead of saying, look, I'm going to put this moron who's going to steal and make it way worse. And now we've seen from that date, from that time, how big the spending and ridiculousness has gotten, with Joe Biden's fingers always being around, with the exception of 4 years. So I think, and if you asked him if the camera turned off, he would have been like, man, I can't believe we're going to let this dumb be in charge of this stuff. You know he's going to screw this up. Right? That's exactly what would have happened.
I think it's just frustrating, man. Obama, like, you can't sit there, and this is what they all do. AOC did this the other day too, where they don't they never talked about healthcare and Medicare and all this stuff. They praise anything a Democrat did. Joe Biden is doing all the great things. You know, we got all this insulin for diabetics, and we did all this stuff for people, but like, they don't actually. But then this is like where we're struggling when it comes to the healthcare system. It's been kind of messed up for a while now, and there's always been people trying to figure out what we need to do to fix it. Where are we spending money? How can we reallocate the funds that we are getting, that the American people are spending or are paying through taxes and all this stuff? They're saying there's a bunch of waste, something that Obama pointed out years ago. But when we do it, they oppose it. And they say that, like, they used to care about waste and now they don't. That's not what it is. It's not good for my side to celebrate getting rid of waste. And so I'm not going to. I'm going to find something to yell. I'm going to point fingers and say something bad. It's not about productivity. It's not about actually making things go the right way. It's about, how can my side win? How can my side be on top, and how can I vilify the other? And I'm over it. People, it's like, you don't care about American people. And it's funny how Obama was a Republican. No, it's just Obama's a puppet. And they all are. Not all of them. I'm sure not all of them. But it just seems as though they prioritize and care about being in power and staying in power and saying the things that you want to hear, not acting them out. And we need people that are going to do that. And I think Trump, more so than any other politician, has done a really good job at that. So, yeah. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment down your thoughts below. I want to know what you guys are thinking, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.